At the bachelorette's party before the wedding, Juliet Stone's best friend speaks with her in their hometown's dialect. The video that's posted in our group chat was taken in your and Hugo's new home, right? Doesn't that mean you've been cheating on him blatantly this whole time, you go girl? Juliet shoots her a mysterious smile. Yeah, you know that I've always had a bad heart, so I couldn't carry out strenuous exercises. After undergoing the heart transplant surgery, I think that if I only get to sleep with one man for the rest of my life, it'll be dull and boring. A pause later, she adds, I plan on unlocking 100 locations with my lover before the wedding starts. But once I've gone through the wedding, I won't sleep around anymore and choose to stay devoted to Hugo instead. I can only clutch my chest tightly where an artificial heart beats silently. Juliet has no idea that I've specifically learned her dialect in order to bond with her family even better. Of course, I've already discovered the fact that she has been cheating on me with our wedding planner for a very long time. That's why I decide to hide something from her as well. I've already booked the euthanizing service that's provided overseas. On the wedding day that Juliet has been greatly anticipating, I'll have disappeared beyond the ocean. Later on, even if Juliet does track me down using all of her resources, all she can find is nothing but my ashes. Chapter noticing what I'd done, Juliet Stone grew tense and dropped into a half kneel before me. Is your heart acting up? You've got an artificial heart and you shouldn't stay up late. Come on, let's go home. Just as she got up to leave, a few of her girlfriends banded together to stop her. Hugo's heart isn't great. Sure, you should rest. But yours is perfectly healthy. Once you're married, you'll have all the time in the world to be all lovey-dovey. Shouldn't you be spending more time with us tonight? I slipped my hand out of Juliet's tight grip. It's fine. He'll have the driver take me home. Since this is your bachelorette party, you should stay. With that, I turned and left, not giving her any chance to follow. Not long after the car pulled away, I felt around inside my coat and found Juliet's phone. I frowned and told the driver to turn around. The car had just come to a stop outside the bar when I saw Luke Anderson getting out of a cab. Without thinking, I followed him inside. At the corner of the hallway, Juliet threw herself into Luke's arms. He pulled her in easily, one arm circling her waist before sliding down to squeeze her, but drawing a breathy protest from her, he wrapped both arms around her. Guess what I prepared as a wedding gift for you? Juliet's face stiffened for a second, but just as quickly something heated flickered in her eyes. She let him guide her hand lower. It's your favorite little bondage game, he said, tapping the tip of her nose. Her fingers brushed over his lips as she said huskily, looking forward to it. When Juliet finally pulled away and walked into the private room, there was still a sheen of moisture on her lips, hinting at how intense the kiss had been. Hey Juliet, now that Luke's here, we can finally talk about some juicy topics, right? Where was the most unforgettable spot you two hooked up? If you don't answer, bottoms up. The crowd egged her on and the mood quickly hit its peak. Juliet raised an eyebrow and answered calmly, at my marital home, with cheese-flavored popping candy. Immediately the room erupted with cheers and laughter. Juliet, you've really stepped up your game. I've got to say, you're creative. No, that's not it. It's Luke who was being creative. Their laughter spilled out nonstop, but all that I felt was a deep creeping chill. Back then, to repay the Stone family for raising me, I gave Juliet my heart. Hugo, your heart is the most precious thing in my life, she had said. For all the years to come, I'll give you all my love in return for this sacrifice. For 3 years she kept proposing to me, yet in the end this is how she chose to repay me. By sharing a passionate relationship with another man and leaving our bed in a mess. I handed Juliet's phone to the driver and told him not to let her know I'd been there. Chapter after I got home, I dug out the property deed to the villa Julia had spent over $1 billion building. Our marital home. Hello, is this a mess? Smith, the real estate agent. Yeah, I'd like to list a property for sale. The next morning I was still asleep when Juliet suddenly returned. She rushed in like a storm, damp and chilled, not even bothering to change out of her wet clothes. Instead, she hurried over to me and while shaking asked, Hugo, did you put our villa up for sale? The villa was in my name. Juliet had arranged it that way so any listing wouldn't notify her. That was unless she had gone to the real estate office herself. I didn't answer